This is things you might have heard. I am Jay Cleveland Payne, and hopefully, I am producing this with actual sound today. So if that's happening, give me a thumbs up or something in the chat. If not, we'll figure it out in 40 minutes. Go to do clip things, and nothing's there. But c'est la vie. It's the 11th of December, 2024, and that means it is 14 days till Christmas, which is something to be happy about. We have great stories for reading queue today. 8 stories you deem as conversational, dealing with politics, information, current events, and pop culture news. We will talk about Luigi Mangione, but we're actually focusing on the capture and the McDonald's and a little bit of sort of the chaos that ensued. Also, Matt Gaetz is not so much back because he's never actually gone away, but he'll be back in your face a lot more. And Taylor Swift does something sweet and kind for her players. And you want more about what we do, you can go to our website. This is conversationproject.com and learn about how we do things, find links to many things, many calls to actions at the website. The biggest call to action I'm doing right now is our email address, the conversation inbox at gmail.com. Go there, check us out and see what you can see there at the conversation inbox. And you can email us and talk about what we're doing well or not so well. I already said it, but I'll say it one more time because it's important. It's Wednesday, the 11th of December, 2024, 14 days till Christmas. And here are 8 news stories, no particular order as they're being presented, that you deemed as conversational things worthy of talking about. That wasn't so much all the big breaking news, although plenty of that is involved in this one. Let's start off with story in the first position. Headline number 1 for this morning. McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, flooded with Google reviews after suspect arrested in CEO's killing. Now, let me get us out of the way first. Luigi Mangione had his day in court in Pennsylvania yesterday. He was arraigned. He pleaded not guilty. His lawyer said he's not seen any evidence of him being guilty yet, which may be true. He may not have seen it. But everything that he apparently had on his person that the police are saying is there essentially is him telling us he did it, although he's saying he's innocent, he didn't do it, and they messed his back up. A whole lot of that thing going on. He yelled, he screamed. He looks like Nick Jonas, so he wasn't, hot guy who shot an a person who people hate. He'd probably be getting the attention that people would actually do for someone who shoots people in cold blood in the middle of the daytime. This is about McDonald's in Altoona. The suspect in the murder of the United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson, was arrested. That's Luigi Mangione at McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, where he was just hanging out after the act. They experienced a surge in reviews, most of them negative, on Google for, they call this review bombing, as Trump would say. It's called review bombing. It happens all the time. You had to all that stuff, all the great stuff there. So review bombing happened. It happened. It's there. And with review bombing, what we got from review bombing is negative reviews. People saying all sorts of things about the cooks are bad, the place is terrible, all the things going forward, because that's where he was arrested. And a McDonald's employee called the police and they arrested the person. Now, what this says about all of us in a grand scheme of craziness is that we have issues. There are many people who, as I saw someone in a news report say, hey, this is just a halo effect. People see an attractive person and they want to be drawn to women, follow him. And this attractive person did something that they wish they could do. I'm not sure people wish they could actually murder someone in cold blood, but they wish they could do something about healthcare employees and CEOs who are making record profits off of these pain and suffering, which is happening. And so they're calling him innocent. Most of the comments I have in my videos, in my talks, in my things about Mangione are he's innocent, flat out. There are pictures of him doing the thing, and everyone's like, he's innocent, he's a hero, let him go. He is still alleged because no one's convicted him yet, but all the evidence points to the fact that he is troubled. He has issues. He was going to do this to somebody anyway, and the somebody that he did it to did not deserve this. As bad as a person he may have been, and he seems like he's not a great person, that being Brian Thompson, Luigi Mangione does not get a free pass to walk up and shoot a guy in the streets and go to McDonald's 3 days later and just chill out. That is what it is. We can fight that one all you want to. Comment to me here, comment me an email. We can comment this one all day long, but guess what? Murder is still murder. Even this isn't self-defense. This is not preservation of personal life. This is shooting somebody literally in the back. Guess what? Matt Gaetz never actually went away, but he's going to be more in your face on purpose now, as the Matt Gaetz show is coming to OANN. Now, number one, this reminds you that OANN still exists. It's still out there, even though most cable channels, most places don't actually have it anymore. But the One American News Network is going to premiere the Matt Gaetz show at 9 p.m. Eastern in January 2025. So somewhere in the first couple weeks of January, we'll see Matt Gaetz in the slot up against Hannity and Maddow slash Alex Wagner, and I think Caitlin Collins has that slot on CNN. I'm always multitasking at a time, so it's just sort of there. Actually, I watch News Nation and I watch Cuomo, so I think that's the slot that's going to be versus Dan Abrams. So that's his competition on OAN. I don't know who's on Newsmax. I don't watch that stuff. So you will see the career move from Gaetz, who actually has been doing some of this stuff a while. When he was in Congress, he was showing up doing guest hosting duties on various channels, including OAN and Newsmax. And now he gets a chance to do it for real for a paycheck. Of course, he withdrew his name from nomination as U.S. Attorney General and left the Congress because he thought he was going to get the job. But it also kept a report that was going to talk about his alleged sexual misconduct from being released because he no longer for Congress, so Congress couldn't talk about someone who didn't work for them. It's a bit convoluted. It's a bit crazy. It's somehow showing that, people who get the just desserts may not be the greatest people in the world. Circle back to the last story. But it is what it is. It do what it do. It be what it be. This is life as we have it. One of the biggest issues that we have is that DirecTV and Verizon channels actually don't channel the OAN network. I don't have cable, so I can get it streaming, but it's not on my YouTube TV. If you can find it, and people may go looking for it, you got Matt Gaetz in January. Israel's Netanyahu vows to challenge absurd corruption charges as he takes the stand in his trial. Believe it or not, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been busy. I know he's busy fighting a war, but he's also dealing with corruption charges. He's been dealing with these things for quite some time. And for the first time, he's actually shown up at court to talk about this move that is the first sitting Israeli leader to take the stand as a criminal defendant. We kind of know how that works here in the States. Facing charges of fraud, breach of trust, and accepting bribes in 3 separate cases, Netanyahu has consistently denied all allegations, labeling them as politically motivated and, of course, the overly used witch hunt. Your witches may vary in these cases. During his testimony in a fortified Tel Aviv courtroom, because he's the president, Netanyahu criticized the Israel media, accusing it of targeting him due to his right-wing policies and the proposition of the Palestinian state. He argued that his security policies have made him a focal point of media attacks. But, quote, had I wanted good coverage, all I would have to do is the signal towards a 2-state solution. How does this sound so familiar to me and us, U.S., over here? The trial proceedings have been delayed multiple times, probably due to the conflict in Gaza. When you're busy fighting a war, you kind of have other things to focus on instead of the war that is your courtroom life. But despite the war, the court mandated that Netanyahu testify at least 3 times a week. 3 times a week. 3 times a week, which means you got to show up for court and run military plans. The challenges legally have deepened the political divisions within Israel, as some people still hate Netanyahu and some people are clinging on to him. Not sure they love him, but they really just need him to be there to run things the way they want them to be run. So here in the States, our Congress could not pass a law to protect journalists from being classified as terrorists. Calling it the Press Act. That's years ago. The Congress did not figure out how to get that passed because Donald Trump said he didn't want that passed. It's protection for journalists for things that could happen in the future if things changed in the way we run things. Meanwhile, in Russia, they've advanced a bill and it's moving forward towards being law to remove the terrorist designation from the Taliban. This happened yesterday. Russia's State Duma, the lower house of the parliament, this would be the House, approved this bill in the first reading that could lead to the removal of the Taliban from Russia's list of banned terrorist organizations. The legislative move is a significant step towards officially recognizing the Taliban-led government in Afghanistan. The legislation proposes to allow for temporary suspension of the organization's terrorist status by court decision, provided there is evidence that the organization has ceased activities promoting or supporting terrorism. Essentially, they've been good boys for quite some time. They're not producing and publishing hate. So we're going to lift the veil just a bit, a temporary, to see how things go and see if they can react, see if they can act well. If it becomes law, the bill will have to get 2 more readings in the Duma, approved by the upper house, of course, and signed by one President Vladimir Putin. They've been a organization designated as terrorists since 2003, making the association with the group punishable under Russian law. But despite this, they've been stabilizing Afghanistan. That said, with a question mark and some a big wink and like a big kind of huh, and keeping things steady after everyone has left the nation, which is essentially a cursed nation. Russia tried to deal with Afghanistan and left. We U.S. dealt with it and left, essentially leaving it to the Taliban to run, who have run it poorly. But they're running it, and they say they're not harboring terrorists and not training people to do the next level of terrorism. So Russia's like, let's give these guys a shot. Quick break from the news. Four stories down, four more to go. These next four stories will be more entertaining because they're all dealing with entertainment stuff and much more lighter. So that's coming. But in the meantime, we need you to kind of deal with us here and help us go forward. We had a great show yesterday. I can say it was awesome because no one can see it because we erased it because there's no sound in it. But I'm going to say it was the greatest show we ever had, even though it probably was not the greatest, but it was good. But to keep things like that from happening, I need your help and support. I need more engagement so I can grow the following and i.e. get more revenue into the thing. This is the part where I don't ask you for money. I ask you for help to grow my subscriber base so I can ask other people for more resources. If you like what you're seeing in our programs, clip videos, our email newsletter, our audio podcast, like those things. Show the algorithms that they're worthy of checking out. Like the videos here if you're watching it. That way, whatever algorithm you're watching on YouTube, on Facebook, on X, it will produce it to more people. We are proud of all the people, mostly bots, who are watching me live right now on X. But we need more people involved so the numbers show that we are worthy, and it shows them to actual real people. If you know real people who would enjoy the news as it presented, or my commentary, or think I'm an idiot and need someone else to yell at, because I've done that. I worked in talk radio. Sometimes you just have to be there to be yelled at. Share it with those folks so they can engage with us as well, and hopefully like and grow us as well. And if you're not subscribed to this to get us live or when we come through, this is being produced live, start at 5:30 a.m. Central Time. Subscribe in whatever venue you're looking at and make sure you're getting this one live, or watch it in your feed later on whenever you get a chance to. We have the metrics that show that the people actually are, our audience actually engaged with things about a half hour, 45 minutes after we're done with this live. But this is the best way to get it out there. So we record it, put it in there, get it into use, check it out. So it's still a morning newscast, even if it's in the afternoon. Subscribe, share, and like so we get more people in our queue, more people hanging out with us, doing the thing and growing this thing. As I promised, four more lighter stories dealing with entertainment type news, starting off with Taylor Swift doing a solid to her crew, a big solid, if you will. $197 million in bonus as the tour wraps up for Eras Tour, a two-year tour, a very lucrative, productive tour. Minus 3 shows that didn't get done because of proposed terrorist attacks, because we live in that age. But she distributed a generous $197 million in bonuses to her crew for the tour, in addition to their regular money. So they got paid, and this is on top of whatever. Dancers, choreographers, physical therapists, hair and makeup artists, stylists, band members, technicians, and other essential personnel. Essentially, everybody that showed up and got a check throughout the time got an extra check for their Christmas gift. It concluded on the 8th of December in Vancouver. 149 shows total, 5 continents, $2 billion in ticket sales, highest grossing concert tour in history. Profound gratitude to her team and her fans, subscribing to her chapter of her life. Meanwhile, she actually produced 3 new albums. One was like a release with 3 actual albums within the span of 2 years of doing this. And it just shows that how things are going for her. Of course, some of the people that got this was like the truck drivers got $100,000 each for walking her tour. Beyond that, she gave lots of heartfelt, warm wishes to many specific members of her tour group who've been with her for a while for helping her get through this thing. If you missed the Eras Tour, there are replays on Disney Plus. I think that's the streaming service where it is. You can see the magic of the actual tour, the magic of the actual music going forward. And of course, listen to it all the days long. But congratulations to Taylor Swift for this very, very lucrative, very money generating tour, very populating for tour. And I'm sure she's done touring for this large for quite some time. We now have answers as Jamie Foxx reveals the mystery illness that he was suffering in a Netflix special. With a new movie coming out in a few weeks, maybe this weekend, I think, Jamie Foxx has a special on Netflix kind of talking about his life with What had happened was, and reveals that in April of 2023, he suffered a brain bleed leading to a stroke. And that was a 20-day memory loss that he had to deal with. His sister, Deidre Dixon, played a crucial role in rushing him to the hospital in Atlanta where he underwent emergency surgery. He was in the middle of filming the movie at the time, and then all of a sudden, everything stopped, and it was radio silence of what was going on. But despite the severity and the cause of the brain bleed still being unknown, Foxx expressed deep gratitude for the public's prayers and support during his recovery. He also shared that his daughter, Annalise, then 14, also aided in his recovery by playing guitar at his bedside to help him stabilize his vitals and just feel like a regular person during this stuff. Many things in the special, including just straight up Jimmy and Fox jokes, but he spent a lot of time talking about his health crisis. But it's his first time back on stage after the health crisis. And of course, the movie coming out real soon, if not this weekend, next weekend, that he did with I say Gwyneth Paltrow because now I've got brain issues, which is her return to movies. No, Cameron Diaz. Cameron Diaz, who has not done a movie in a long time as well, and she may be done because there's a reason why she doesn't do those. Who else is coming back? Not only are we getting Robert Downey Jr., but Chris Evans is coming back from Marvel for Doomsday, Avengers, Doomsday, returning to the MCU in an undisclosed role at the moment, scheduled for release in May of 2026. So this thing is supposed to come out not too far from now, as all the rumors and innuendo came out of what's happening. Now, the role, like I said, undisclosed, not specific. Of course, he is Captain America, but since he showed up in Deadpool and Wolverine playing Johnny Storm from a different era and a whole different studio, I think Sony actually produced that movie when he was the Human Torch way back when. People are wondering what the hell's going on. Of course, Robert Downey Jr. will play Doctor Doom, so he's returning, but not as Iron Man, as an alternate Downey Jr. of sorts. We don't know how the story's going to go yet. This is all the fix from the kerfuffle that was losing Jonathan Majors because of his issues. These two guys have no issues, but they're going to bring back the love, bring back the greatness, and bring back some eyeballs to people who are kind of missing what's happening. Of course, Fantastic Four will come out before that, which has Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and it does not have the person playing the Thing in this listing, so apologies for that one. And so there's going to be some way to bring in another Human Torch, so that may be some question marks. Some way to bring in the connection to Doctor Doom, maybe with the Fantastic Four, because that's where he has been the biggest villain. He's a direct antagonist with Reed Richards and the Richards family. But the big deal is Doomsday is going to follow sort of the Secret Wars, the newest Secret Wars version, with the Doom Planet sort of timeline in the comics. So we're going to see what happens. Directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, with the script by Stephen McFeely. Film expected to lead into Avengers Secret Wars, as I said, the whole Battle World thing, and we're going to see what happens coming forward. Good news for people wanting money who played Fortnite. Fortnite FTC is sending out refunds. They're showing up now. People are getting their cash back from the Federal Trade Commission's poking to give Fortnite players refunds as part of a $245 million settlement with Epic Games, addressing allegations of deceptive in-game purchases practices. Essentially, you didn't know you had to pay for stuff, and so since you did, you're getting class action lawsuit money back. Over 600,000 payments back so far. $72 million has been paid out so far. If you want to get your check, this is what you must do. Bear with me. The unintended purchases were between January 2017 and September 2022, so it wasn't so far back. Accounts are locked due to dispute on authority charges. And children who made purchases between January and November 2018 also are eligible because they basically targeted kids. Log into your account or visit the website. Claims must be filed by January the 10th. You're on the timetable there. Process via PayPal or cash. 90 days to get those, 90 days to basically cash when you get there. Call 1-833-915-0880, 1-833-915-0880, or email admin@fortnightrefund.com for questions, comments, and concerns. Of course, you can email me anytime you want to with questions, comments, and concerns at the conversation inbox at gmail.com. I will probably not send you any money. Now, let's go to our teaser story right now. The teaser story, we transition out of the news that we produced just there, and we'll give you a teaser story, a story we are going to bring up in our feeds, explain what the feeds are, and tell you how the conversationalists of these news stories become what they are. So Let's start with what the feeds are because this story is pretty dark, pretty dank, and we just have to kind of go there. Facebook, X, and Threads. If you go to facebook.com/, this is conversation project, x.com/, th underscore conversation, and threads.net this conversation, we have those feeds or links on those social media sites allow us to produce to you every 50 minutes or so a news article, a link to something. If you want to engage in it, if you want to see things happen, you engage in the story. You let us know what the story means to you by liking it, by hating it, by commenting on it. That really helps. The more engagement a story gets, the better chance we have to talk about it in the next iteration. Today is Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thursday. 8 stories will be queued up for tomorrow's edition of this thing here. Now, the story we are teasing, which is going to come down in a little bit from when it is now. It's almost 6 o'clock live as I record this Central Time. So this one I think is going to come down between 7 and 8 because we queued up because we're here. Diddy accuser speaks out for first time on sexual assault allegations. CNN interviewed a accuser, one of the anonymous accusers, one of the John Does in one of the cases, under the and the masked voice and all that stuff to talk about what happened. The short version of it. This is a person that was hired as a bodyguard. Somebody handed him a drink. He started feeling funny, and in a car later on, he was abused. Listen to the story, read the story, see what you think about that, see what you think about either side, see if there are heroes in this one, if you will, and engage in the story to see if you want to talk about this one. If this is a bit too heavy, every 50 minutes there are news articles going on. We'll get 8 from somewhere from the top half of stories from the day. So you just engage in the stories you want to, and we'll get the ones that we think are the better ones into the queue. Yesterday we teased Guinness being in limited supply, so pubs in England going nuts about it. This is a story that's about 10 days old, so I can see why it didn't get much engagement. If you probably saw it, you already kind of processed that one. This one wasn't near a close about with the Guinness story. But if you want to talk about Diddy, because Diddy's a big deal, you just need to engage in this story or any other story you put out there because chances are he'll do something else and update this story, update his story to go forward. Our sponsor for today is Flowers Fast. You can go to our sponsors page at our website and visit many of our sponsors. They're all affiliate links, and you click their link and buy from them. We get a small commission, just like from Flowers Fast. Go directly to this one by going to this is a conversationproject.com/flowers fast. This is conversationproject.com/flowers fast. We have been hyping them all this week because we are 2 weeks out from Christmas, and we want you to have this one in your brain for 2 days out from Christmas because you may need to get those flowers or those gifts delivered pretty quickly. Otherwise, just a website, a service to have in your back of your mind, which is ever you need to get a gift. I use this often when I think about my clients and when I need to get them a thank you gift. I send sometimes flower bouquets and nice little bouquets. Lately, I've been sending some of those snack things. That's why I keep talking about the smoked meats. They have these little, the old summer sausage things. They have those there. They have these great Christmas themed bouquets and Christmas themed snack trays that you can send to people, but they also have them set for get well soon, for birthday congratulations, for births as well, to kind of show something different, a little different to show your love for folks. Of course, the big deal, sending flowers within the day to show that you love people that you forgot about. Because FTD can do that. We just want you to keep this in mind and keep us in mind your next purchase of flowers. Visit Flowers Fast. A very simple website, very simple service, very economical, affordable deals, and we get a small from you using our website link. This is conversationproject.com/flowers fast. This is conversationproject.com/flowers fast. Let's do a quick bit of promotion for the Conversation Project. Many calls to action. The biggest thing to start off with is our website. This is conversationproject.com. Visit our website and find out more about us by going to our origin story, find the links for possible partnerships, find the links for other sponsors, find the links to past episodes of things if you want to see things. Unfortunately, the greatest episode ever created yesterday no longer exists because no sound. So me looking pretty is great, but no sound means no real news no real news value there. Today, I think we did pretty good. So we'll call this the second greatest just because we can. What we need you to do is just follow along with us on our feeds, Facebook, Threads, X, so we know what stories to chat up every day because that's bulk of this thing. It's not a monologue. It's not just me doing a newscast. This is me engaging with you and you engaging on the stories you talk about. And of course, email me with what you need, what we need to do more of or less of at the conversation inbox at gmail.com. With that, we're going to wrap it up for this day. It is Wednesday, the 11th of December, 2024. In about 5 minutes, if you're watching me live, you'll see another live thing pop up. It is the live to tape recording of the day. It's a little extra conversation, dealing with parents, dealing with Christmas, dealing with, no, yes, dealing with parents, dealing with Christmas, dealing with people being freaked out, kids, just being children, stressful. So that's today. You get that plus birthdays and a couple of things as well. So, and if you join that, stick around on this channel. You'll see it pop up live in a moment. If you're subscribed, you shall see it. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe so you don't miss out on what we give to you. Whether it's live or a replay version, it will be there for you forever. As long as YouTube stays alive and we pay our internet bill, we're good. And if you enjoy what we're doing, like, share, and subscribe as well. Send me an email, tell me what we can do better or not so worse, and we will continue. A Thursday edition of this thing and news clips on the way from the Conversation Project. We love you so, so much. Thank you for being part of the crew.